What up? What up? What up? What's going on, guys? Martin Ware here. I'm super pumped up and excited. It's a beautiful day. It's a Wednesday evening, and if you guys can hear me out there in internet land, go ahead and just go ahead and type in if you can hear me, and if you can't, just let me know. I can hear you loud and clearly. I don't want to actually go on and do the whole presentation. You guys can't even hear me, all right? So let's give it like 60 seconds or so. Let me know if you guys can hear me. By the way, there's actually a button where you guys can actually go ahead and interact with me. Okay, so let me actually go to that page right now. Just want to make sure that you guys can hear me all right. Where's it at? Guest link, anytime link. All right, so you guys should. I'm using a new software, guys. So if you guys can actually hear me, go ahead and it looks like we are live. I can hear myself. So you'll see to the right of that page, you'll actually see a chat box. So you can actually, let me go ahead and actually type in real quick. Can you? All right, awesome. Perfect. Looks like a few people are saying yes. Richard said he can hear me. John says he can hear me, right? All right. So awesome. If you guys can hear me, then we'll just give the people that are lagging a little bit another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So before we do, make sure you guys. Let me see. Let me actually. I'm actually looking at different screens. Give me 1 second. Just make sure you guys are here. You know, we're gonna go about 45 to 60 minutes. If we go a little bit over time, then I have a lot of great stuff. I just got back from a live event that I'm gonna be talking about just in a little bit. But as people come in, let me actually see, how do I communicate with you guys? Chat. Okay. All right. So it looks like we have a few people on. Awesome. While people continue to join us. So I'm going to show you my screen right now. Just let me know if you guys can see my screen, okay? You guys should be able to see my PowerPoint. You'll be able to see my PowerPoint slide. So if you guys can see my PowerPoint slide, go ahead and let me know. Go ahead and type in that you guys can actually see my PowerPoint slide. And then we'll go ahead and get started. Awesome. All right. As people are joining us, sweet, sweet. I'm gonna turn off my Facebook. So if you're messaging me on Facebook, just know that I have it off. So actually, I should probably just keep it on, huh? Anyways, I'm gonna turn it off. So people are saying they could see it, they can hear me, so we're ready to go, my friends. So let me just get situated here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Current slide. All right. Boom, perfect. So on your slide, you should be able to see my PowerPoint slide. So tonight we're going to be talking about the podcast mastery blueprint. You're going to discover the simple process to creating, producing, and launching a strategic podcasting business. Once again, my name is Martin Ware. I'm actually the founder and the host of the Unstoppable Journey podcast. That's actually a picture of me. You can find me on iTunes. You can find me on Stitcher Radio. You can find me on my website. And I'm not playing, guys. I'm literally going to expose the truth on the internet's marketing industry's best kept recruiting secret. I'm actually going to show you on this very workshop how to create a lead and cash flowing machine that spits out money like an ATM on 100% autopilot. So if you're cool with that, go ahead and raise your hand or type in I, so I know that you guys are still engaged. And just let me know that if you're here, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so if you're ready to go, just say I'm ready to go, and we'll go ahead and get started, my friend, while we wait for a few more people to jump on. So if you guys are ready to go, just let me know. Type in ready to go, and we'll go ahead and get started. Awesome, guys. I love the interaction, by the way. So let's continue to push forward and move forward. So I have a special gift for those of you that are watching this live, and even if you're watching the replay. If you stay to the very end of this workshop, I'm actually going to be sharing with you a special untapped resource to help build professional looking capture pages and funnels that help build your influence. Okay, this is really my secret weapon to building my audience so they know, like, and trust me. Imagine if you can have an audience, you can build an audience instead of chasing your friends and your family or people at the mall or at Starbucks, right? Going anyone the 3 foot rule, right? And talking to them about your business. Imagine if you can just create lead capture pages and target people that are actually looking for what it is that you actually have to offer. Okay, imagine that. So I'm going to share with you at the end of this workshop an untapped traffic resource that or actually I should say an untapped resource that will help you with your traffic and conversions. So I'm going to share with that. You got to stay to the end so I can definitely give you the goods. All right, my friend. So here's the game plan for tonight. Tonight, you'll discover the rarely shared strategy to generate massive targeted leads to your products and services using an untapped source. So today I'm going to share with you how to start a podcast, all right? And, the ins and outs of it and a few more things. I'm also going to share with you the 8-step process of how to produce your very own podcast. So not only I'm going to share with you what a podcast is, but actually the process that I go through every time I actually launch my next episode. Okay, and the process I took in order for me to actually launch my podcast, The Unstoppable Journey. So I'm going to take you through the 8-step process. I'm also going to share with you how to launch your podcast. Okay, so once you understand the process, actually how to actually launch it into iTunes, into Stitcher Radio, into SoundCloud, all these different platforms that people are already using, how you can tap into that blue ocean of targeted traffic that you can now have them listening to your message, listening to what you have to offer to the marketplace. So I'm going to share with you how to launch your podcast. I'm also going to share with you how to grow your audience. Okay, audience is everything. All right, with my audience, in the short 6 months that I've actually launched the Unstoppable Journey, we've actually grown to 81,000 plus, and we're still growing. Our second quarter goal is to get to 100,000 plus and be in over 100,000 countries by the end of the year. So we're actually more than halfway there, and we're just pushing through. And I'm going to share with you the strategies that I'm utilizing in order for me to tap into this untapped traffic resource. And then lastly, I'm going to share with you how to monetize your podcast. Okay, once you know the process, once you know, actually how to get it out there to the marketplace. Now, what can you do in order for you to monetize your podcast? How you can actually make money from you putting value out there into the marketplace. All right. If you're ready to get started, this is the time. Go ahead and let me know. I'm going to check the chat real quick, make sure people can still hear me. If you guys are ready to go, boom. All right, Richard, let's do it. Awesome, my friend. I was able to hang out with Richard this past weekend. We had a blast. We met a ton of people, and now he's on the workshop. So I love it, Richard, and anyone else that is watching. So we're going to get started. Make sure you have a pen and paper ready, because this is the time you're going to want to take notes. If you're here and you're investing, 60 minutes, to be on this workshop, then make sure you're doing everything that you can to take down notes. Make sure you're writing stuff down. And if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. That's why I'm using this platform, because now we can have all the questions in one location. I can look at them, I can respond to them, and we can really interact with each other. All right, so it's time to get started. I'm ready to give you my all, and I'm ready to just go after it. All right, so before I share with you everything about the workshop, I want to actually share with you a little bit about myself. So who am I, and why should you actually listen to me, right? So since 2010, I have actually been studying online marketing and direct response marketing under some of the highest multi-million-dollar elite earners, such as Mike Dillard. Okay, he's actually one of the godfathers, or the godfather of attraction marketing, who started it all. My good buddy, the Unstoppable Warrior, I've been able to be mentored by him. Dagan Smith, another legend in our industry. Okay, all of these are 7 and 8 figure earners who have, really just gone online and really just built their brand and built their business. And I've been able to actually been able to partner up with some of them and also be a student of others. Some other mentors and partners of mine, Greg Gomez III, my mentor, my partner, doesn't live too far from me, actually in Anaheim, California. And I was actually at his live event this past weekend with John Lee Dumas, as you can see on the right, where, podcasting, all these leaders are actually now starting to have their own podcasts. And there's really no coincidence to that. Okay, after I share with you some numbers today, you know, the reason why people are moving to podcasts is phenomenal. Okay, there's the untapped traffic resource, the blue ocean that you can start playing in, and all of these mentors of mine have actually started moving in that direction. So when you start seeing the industry leaders moving in a certain direction, that's what I've been able to do. I've been able to associate myself with them and also position myself for that massive growth that's actually happening within my business at the moment. So a little bit about me. So for the past 5 years, I have received my online marketing education after long sleepless nights, investing well over $60,000 learning from these experts, attending multiple live events on an annual basis, always evolving. Okay, as a person, as a mentor, as a coach, and as a student, always evolving, always finding the people that are doing and making it happen, and always being able to get around them and get around their influence of people. I currently train and coach clients from different parts of the globe, so I actually run a global business. I've been a top tier or top income earner in several two-tier affiliate opportunities created by a seven-figure and well-respected online marketer. I placed in the top 10 in affiliate marketing competitions with elite earners like Mark Hoverson, Jonathan Budd, Ray Higdon, Greg Gomez, and William Rapp, to name a few. Now, I don't say all this to boost or brag, my friend. I say this because I understand that it's possible to create freedom online. Even if you struggled miserably like I did for over 2.5 years, not making a single dime online. See, when I came online, I didn't own a computer until I was actually a sophomore year in college, and I wasn't a computer literate. Okay, so I came online. I didn't even know really how to send an email out, and I started learning from these master marketers and learning how business ran. How they ran their business, how I was able to position myself just like they were. Can't make a single diamond, after 2.5 years. So if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so maybe after this presentation, you too will have the blueprint and the strategy I use to do it myself. So the Unstoppable Journey, I'm the founder and the host of the Unstoppable Journey podcast. Like I mentioned, I launched just recently. We're still in the infant stages, guys. We launched November 2014. We've already gotten quite a few awards, some podcasting awards. A few awards that we've gotten so far is Most Education Podcast, Best New Podcast 2014, Most Inspiring Podcast, Best Overall Host, and Best Overall Podcast. Humbled by that, and here's a quick message by Jackie Buyer is well deserved, Martin. I listened to a lot of your shows since I saw the results. I think you want something in every category. First for most educational, second for best overall host, most inspirational, and best new show, and third for most original. I don't know how I got third for most original, but hey, guys, I will take it. If you, I don't know how I got that, but hey, I consider it a blessing. So. Just a little bit of social proof from people out there that have been listening to the podcast. And I hit iTunes, new in that number right there, but I hit it in 3 different categories. Okay, usually when people launch, number one, they don't know the launch formula. I'm going to teach you the launch formula later today in the slides. But number one, they don't know the launch formula. Number two, they pray to get onto the new and noteworthy. Okay. And I'm going to share with you how I was able to get onto the new and noteworthy in 3 different categories. Not 1, not 2, but 3 different categories. And I was able to attract a lot of people to my podcast. And that just opened up the doors and the floodgates to people hearing what it is I'm actually putting out there. So I was able to get it in the business section, in the education section, and then the technology section. And currently right now, at the time of this of this workshop, we're actually all time. We've been downloaded over 81,443 times, and we're over 52 different countries. Okay, we're being listened to in over 52 different countries, and we're just expanding. And my vision is big for this. We actually talked over the weekend, but my vision is really to go on a tour run across the United States, just putting out the podcast out there, and I just have a big vision for this, and I know it's gonna happen. So just a little bit of social proof. Now let's talk a little bit about some major problems that some major problems that we see um, when I'm actually talking to people or anybody that I coach, and a little bit about podcasting. Here are a few major problems. Number one, what is a podcast? Okay, and believe me, don't feel bad if you don't know what a podcast is. Okay, although they've been around since 2004 when they first started, they're really starting to mature and really grow now in 2000, between 2014 and 2015. They're starting to explode, and you're now starting to see a lot of leaders starting to do podcasts. Let me take a quick drink, guys. So number one, what is a podcast? Number two, how do I find my topic? You might be asking yourself, well, number one, I don't know what a podcast is, but number two, how do I actually find my topic? Okay, that's a major problem. Number three, how do I create a perfect avatar? All right. Once I know my topic, once I know what I'm going to talk about, like who's actually going to listen to my podcast, like who's out there that's going to be downloading it, who's going to be listening to it. And that's a stumbling block that a lot of people face. I faced it. I know there's a ton of people that I talk to that face these similar questions. Number four, not knowing the tools and software to use. Okay, have you ever gotten stuck because you felt that you didn't know the tools or the software to use in order to get the task done? This one right here was probably the most difficult hurdle that I had to overcome when I became a podcaster. Okay, the stories that I told myself within my mind is I didn't know the tools. I don't know the tools or softwares that are out there in order for me to remember. I'm not a technical person, so to speak. I've gotten better over the years, but not knowing the tools or the software really held me back. Okay, it actually held me back almost 5 months from the first day I thought of launching a podcast till November when I actually launched the podcast. I was actually stuck in this rut because I didn't know, told myself I didn't know the tools and softwares, but you got to be resourceful out there. Okay. And, so that's a major one. Number five is not knowing how to leverage iTunes. Okay. Not knowing how to leverage the big gorilla in the in the room, which is iTunes. iTunes is the one that you really want to leverage, because there's so many people on iTunes that if you don't know how to leverage iTunes, then you're really going to, just you're going to be like everybody else, and that's not what we want here. Okay, we want to make sure that you explode and you launch it, and you're able to get to as many people as possible. And number six, a lot of people come to me and say, well, how do you monetize your podcast? And I have the same question. How do you monetize a podcast? Okay, once you understand what a podcast is, you're gonna have this question come up. We all do. Is how do I actually monetize this, this channel, this medium, in order for me to actually go and get my my product and services out there to the world, right? And I'm gonna share with you how to actually do that today. So if you're ready, if you're excited, are you guys getting value? Let me check real quick. Maybe you guys have some questions. If you guys are getting value, let me know. I'm definitely pumped to share this with you today. So, well, today all the nerve-shattering, uncomfortable phobias and deception stop today, my friend. Okay. All of it stops today. We're gonna break through any barriers. We're gonna be unstoppable, as my podcast says, right? The unstoppable journey. We're on our journey right now. We're gonna be unstoppable. Anything that comes in our way, we're either gonna break through, we're gonna climb over, we're gonna dig our way under, or we're gonna go around it. Okay, so all these mental blocks that you're telling yourself, because I know I told myself in the past, is all going to go away today, because we're gonna cover everything, and we're gonna make sure that we break through those phobias and deceptions that you're telling yourself. So let's actually shift a little bit, and let's actually now talk about the innovations and the technologies that have really radically altered the way someone shares their opportunity with smartphones, with tablets, with Google Hangouts like we're on right now, right? You can actually share your opportunity with more than more globally, more than ever in history. Okay, especially if you have a product or service, instead of doing going to the malls or going to having hotel meetings and all that good stuff, you can now do a global business and tap people that I have people that are in New Zealand or other parts of the world that are now listening to this and or have listened to this, and now they're taking action on it. So this is actually the key to growing massive downlines while producing cash flow, even if no one joins your primary opportunity. You see, all those people that I talked about in the previous slides, one thing that they all have in common is they're able to build massive downlines while producing cash flow even when no one joins their primary business, which is insane. Okay, it's counterintuitive, but that's how all these master marketers have positioned their business, is by positioning yourself. They're able to make cash flow even when no one joins their business. If you want to create a seismic shift in your income, in your influence, and your ability to friction-free recruit, then using podcasts is one of the best ways I have found to get in front of thousands who are actively searching for what it is that I have to offer. Okay, there's thousands of people that are going to iTunes, millions actually, that are going to iTunes, that are going to Stitcher Radio, that are downloading the podcast and that are listening to it and that are interacting with it. Okay, so now there's thousands of people who are actively searching for what it is you offer. Now it's just about you putting your services or your product in front of them so they can consume it. Is that making sense, guys? If that's making sense, let me know. Go ahead and put a heck yeah, that's making sense in the chat box. And while I get a quick drink of water. Awesome. Awesome. Looks like it's making sense to everybody. So let's actually dive deep now. Okay, now we're gonna start diving deep into the meat and potatoes of things. What is a podcast? Okay, first ask yourself, what is a podcast? If you don't know what a podcast is, again, that's okay. Okay, there's it's a brand new medium. Again, it's started in 2004, but it's starting to take off now with all the technology that I'm going to share with you. But it's starting to take off now. Okay, and a podcast is, in a nutshell, it's a digital audio file made available on the internet for downloading to a computer or a portable media player. Okay, it's typically available as a series or new installments of which can be received by subscribers. So there's somebody that actually creates an audio file. Okay, that's the host. And then you have somebody, which is the listener, the subscriber, who is downloading that audio, that MP4 file onto, or the MP3 file onto either their iPhone or their computer or their tablet or their mobile, media player, whatever it is. They're now consuming it. Okay, so in a nutshell, it's an audio file that somebody creates. All right, it's all audio. All right, there's video podcasts now that are starting to evolve, but to keep it simple, a podcast is simply, in its original form, it's a digital audio file that you consume, okay, that you're downloaded. Someone produces it, and then somebody listens to it on the other end. All right, so it's just an audio file. And the great thing is you don't have to be in front of a camera. You don't have to, have a suit on. You don't have to. You can be in your shorts. A lot of my podcasts in shorts, because I'm from Southern California, Los Angeles, and it's always, right now it's super hot. So you don't have to show your face. You don't have to do nothing. As long as you're able to speak into a microphone, then you can create your own podcast. Now, 5 reasons to consider podcasting in the first place. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this and why you should actually consider podcasting in the first place. Number 1, it's on demand. Okay, right now it's on demand. Listeners don't have to say no to something to say yes to podcasting. Okay, they can actually listen in while driving their car. And this is a big thing, guys. Okay, I was actually at a live event, Internet Traffic Live 2, this past weekend, and John Lee Dumas actually talked about CarPlay. And if you can see this picture, that little purple icon right there, that's actually a podcasting app, okay, to the app store in iTunes. So every new car from 2015 and above, anyone that has a dashboard, any car that has a dashboard, a majority that have dashboards, are now going to have this CarPlay installed into the dashboard. They cannot remove that. All right, so they now have a choice. This is what it blows my mind as a host. They now have a choice. People now have a choice if they want to listen to the radio, to the Miley Cyrus, or to the Power 106, or to, the Jay-Z songs, or the whatever it is, okay, country, whatever it is. Or they have a choice to listen to a podcast where they now have the power. They're given power to what goes into their brain. And if you guys know anything about me, I truly believe that our mind is very powerful, and what we put into our memory bank it really it really affects how we act, and how we go about our day, right? So if you now have the choice to what goes into your mind, into your brain, then you now can tap into that. Okay, people don't have to say no. Like if you're watching if you do video marketing, I think video marketing is big as well, but an audio, people don't have to watch a video while driving their car, right? Imagine if people were watching videos and driving their car, like how many accidents would that cause? And I'm pretty sure there's still people that do that, but imagine if you had an audio and they were still driving their car or working out, or they were exercising, or in the gym or whatever, and they're still doing what they're doing, but now they're still listening to you. They're still listening to your message. They're still listening to the value that you're putting out there into the marketplace, right? The content that you're producing. So number one, it's on demand. Okay, Google, the CarPlay is going to blow up. Okay, and every new car that's out there is now gonna have that. So you got to tap into that. Number two, it's targeted and it's free. Let's talk about targeted first. What interests you? Let me ask you this question. What interests you, my friend? Okay. Anything that you can think of that interests you, there's probably a podcast for it. In iTunes alone, iTunes has over 16 categories with hundreds of subcategories. So if you like wood shop, or if you like, I don't know, there's so many. If you like cooking, if you like exercising, if you like business, entrepreneurial stuff, if you like history, there's so many categories and subcategories inside the iTunes podcasting section that you can create anything that interests you. Okay, and I'm going to share with you how to actually evolve and make sure that you're tapping into your passion as well as your skill set, so you can create something that will produce, and then you can eventually monetize it, right? So it's very targeted. There's over 525 million active users on iTunes alone, with 350 million who access their iTunes on their iPhone. Okay, the podcasting app cannot be removed from their phone. So if you have an iPhone, I'm a Droid user, but if you have an iPhone, if you know somebody that has an iPhone, all the new iPhones, even when they update, they're now going to have that purple icon that I showed you in the CarPlay. They're now going to have it on their phone, okay? And they can't remove that, especially if they have an iPhone. They cannot remove that app. So what does that tell you? That's prime real estate. That's prime real estate. If you have a podcast, you now have access to tap into over 315 million people that access iTunes on their iPhone. All right. And if you're a podcaster and you're a host, now that, you just opened up, the doors to unlimited traffic. Okay. Unlimited traffic. I hope you guys see the value in this. You can find a podcast that is focused on the exact topics and interests that you have. Okay. So you can, for me, I love, listening to podcasts that has to do with business, that has to do with history, sports. There's a whole bunch of different ones that I like out there. But, I usually stick to the business ones, the entrepreneur ones. But, now I'm tapping into other ones like history, right? Just learning about history, how cool history would be, and how I'm going to take that and apply it to, my long-term vision of, going to different states and talking about history. And that's just another topic. But, imagine if you can now tap into different interests of people and attract your tribe. Okay, you might not attract everybody, and that's okay. The Unstoppable Journey, we have a community that we're building. It's called Warrior Nation. Okay, the people that listen to Unstoppable Journey, they might not like other things, and people that like other things, they might not like the Unstoppable Journey, and that's okay. I'm not trying to target everybody. I'm trying to create a tribe that is that is die hard, right? That I was actually at the live event this weekend. There's a few that were like, yeah, Warrior Nation. I was like, yes, that just gave me this like jolt of energy, just because people are listening out there. And it's awesome that people are really starting to listen to the podcast. Okay, so you can do the same. Here's the best of all, right? Best of all, podcasting is free. Okay, podcasting is free. It's unlimited content you can stream or download for absolutely nothing. A major reason, this is a major reason podcast hosts are building massive audiences. Okay, you don't have to pay for a podcast. You can simply go to iTunes, download the podcast that you like, and you can consume it every time a host uploads a podcast. You now get a message, hey, there's a new podcast that came out on XYZ podcast. So now you can go on there and you can listen to it. So it's free, and free is good, especially for the host. Okay, you can build massive amount of audience and a tribe, and then monetizing, we'll talk about it later. But number 2 is targeted and it's free. Number 3, it allows the host to build an intimate connection with their audience. Again, Warrior Nation, okay, the tribe that I'm building for my podcast, I can literally build an intimate connection. Our first earthly experience as a child is hearing voices. Scientists have said that, in fact, that an embryo can actually hear voices while they're in their mother's womb. Okay, so that's the very first thing that we hear as a human child is voices. We are drawn to voices in a powerful way, and we always be like that. It's just our human nature to be attracted to voices. So when you ask the question to your audience, okay, especially when you build it, what are you struggling with? And this is what I did, okay? I asked my audience, what are you struggling with? And, believe it or not, they will actually tell you, right? They'll actually tell you what they're struggling with. And then you, as a host, you can create a solution to their struggle. All right, and that's what John Lee Dumas was talking about in his presentation. Is you can build a solution to their struggle. And with that, your first product is born. Hint, hint, right? That's why we're actually creating this hangout right now, is because I was able to ask my audience, what are you struggling with? A lot of people said, I want a podcast, I just don't know how. And I was like, I've been doing it for X amount of time. I've gotten this results. Let me show you how, what I'm doing. Okay. I don't believe I'm an expert yet at that level, but I'm moving up. I know definitely a lot more than the average person, because number one, I've invested in myself. I found a coach. I found a mentor to really help me and share with me these insights. Now it's my turn to share it back with you and with the marketplace. Number 4, it's your ability to leverage directories. Okay. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud are the 3 major directories, and they all have one thing in common, my friend. All 3 of these directories all have one thing in common. We have massive, okay, I'm going to keep that bold, is they have massive communities searching for content through their platform, okay? So iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud are a platform that have millions of people that go to their platform to search for something, okay? And if you can simply become a podcasting host and you see the bigger vision, now you can tap into these platforms and open up the gates to this massive amount of traffic that is just waiting to consume your product and waiting to consume your podcast, okay? So it's a way to tap into these already established directories and come in as a host and come in as that authority figure. Okay, so there's three: iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud. Those are the three major large directories. There's more, but these are the three ones that that I'm playing on. Number five is you build authority and credibility within your niche. Okay, and I'm starting to see this more and more and more. But you're actually able to build authority when you interview successful people. What happens? You now are associated with them. Okay, let me ask you this question. What did you think when I first showed you the slides, a few slides ago with all my mentors that I've been able to study from? What did you think right away? Wow, how did he get a picture with them, right? You're probably a student of theirs as well, right? But you're probably asking, like, well, how did you get a picture with that? Well, naturally, perception is reality, right? When you're able to interview successful people, you're able to get around successful people. Now people associate yourselves with them. Okay, and that's what happens when I bring on people to interview on my podcast, and by going to live events, I'm able to bring in even more people to bring them and showcase them and highlight them as an entrepreneur. And all of the people that I actually asked, it's crazy, they all said yes, which is awesome. Okay, so I was actually I was batting 100%. I did miss my mark on a few people because they left early, but everyone that I did ask, they're coming on to the podcast, and these guys have massive influence within the marketplace. So I'm super excited to have them on as a guest on my show. Now, when you have a platform, you are building credibility as someone who knows how to create value, okay? And that's what the market wants, all right? If you can create value and you can put it into the marketplace, you're going to help somebody, whether that's generating leads or whether that's creating a podcast or creating a webinar or creating a Facebook fan page or a Twitter account. All right, whatever it is, if you can help somebody and you're creating value into their life, now they're seeing you as somebody who has credibility and somebody that they want to work with. All right, when you serve an audience with value, all right, and here's a key word that came up, like I have it on my notes over, I don't know, 15 to 20 times. But when you serve an audience with value, and here's a key word: consistently. All right, you have to be consistent at what you're doing, and for free, you're building credibility with them as they grow to know, like, and trust you. Okay, the key word is consistency here, though. Okay, when you're able to build and serve an audience and you're able to give them free value, like a podcast, you now start to build that and they start building that like and that know factor and that trust factor with you. So let's shift. Let me ask before we go into this: who's getting value here? Is anyone getting value? Let me know if you guys are getting value. If you guys are getting value, just type in yes, I'm getting value, so we can feed off of each other's energy, no doubt. So awesome. Looks like we still got people on. So great. So let's actually let's go into finding your topic. All right. So now that you know what a podcast is, it's an audio that you download, and now you know what your the top 5 reasons why you should want a podcast. Let's now talk about finding your topic. So I want you to in your notes, I want you to draw a line down the middle, okay? And on the left side, I want you to put passion. All right, it's going to be a quick exercise. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but if you're watching the replay, definitely go back and watch this, so you can definitely pause it, so you can definitely go through this exercise. On the right side, I want you to put expertise. Okay, left side passions, right side expertise. And on the left side, you're gonna put everything that you're passionate about. Okay, whatever that may be. Okay, we all have passions in life. We all like doing different things, and I want you to jot down everything that comes to mind on the left side that's a passion of yours. Okay, and on the right side, I want you to put everything that you have an expertise in. And don't put nothing, because we all have expertise in something. Okay, especially if you're 30, 40, 50 years old, don't tell me you don't have no expertise. What have you been doing throughout your journey, right? You got to know something, right? You're passionate about something, and you have an expertise in something. All right, whatever that may be, whether that's being a chef, cooking, or that's being a barber, or that's being an online marketer, that's being an author, a teacher, a fireman, whatever it may be, right? A stay-at-home mom, you have an expertise in that. You have an expertise that I don't have that, right? So you got to jot these down, because this right here, this exercise alone, is what really helped me get over the hurdles and help me launch the Unstoppable Journey. And once you have these two things down, your passion and your expertise, then you're gonna find what we call the zone of genius. Okay, the zone of genius is where you can create something One second, I think I got cut off. Can you guys still hear me? Hey Rich, if you're still on, can you hear me? Just type in yes. Something happened to my mic. So if you can hear me, just type in yes and I'll continue to move on. Rich, John, anyone out there, if you guys can still hear me, go ahead and let me know. Let me just type in. So I just typed in, can you guys still hear me? I'm not sure if my mic went out or not. If you guys can hear me, just let me know. You guys should be able to hear me. All right, perfect. We're good now. So if you're watching the replay, just it was only like 30 seconds or whatnot. So anyways, left side is passion, right side expertise. You're gonna find as you commingle this, you're gonna find a zone of genius. Zone of genius. Okay, this exercise is so important. Don't, if you have to go back to this on the replay, go back to it, because right here is where I was able to create the Unstoppable Journey from my passions, from my expertise, and I was able to mingle them. And now I got a zone of genius that when I wake up, I'm so pumped up to create my podcast or create an interview. It doesn't seem like it's work anymore. Okay. And if you guys know, right, a lot of people tell us, right, if you can find something that you're so passionate about and it doesn't seem like work and you can get paid from it, then you're going to love what you do. And that's what I've been able to do with Unstoppable Journey. I've been able to create something that I was been able to tap into my passions. I've been able to tap into my expertise, and I created this zone of genius. And now I'm taking that on a whole new level. Okay, that I'm not going to talk about today, but I kind of hinted to it. But there's my mind is just on 3-4 steps ahead of the podcast now because of this zone of genius. So this right here, this little exercise, it might look like I didn't go too deep into it, but just know that if you do this, don't skip it, guys, because if you skip it, you're gonna go, you're gonna start a podcast and you're gonna go 5-10 episodes deep in, and you're gonna be like, what do I do now? Right? If you create this the very first record button to your podcast, you're gonna have fuel, and you're gonna always know why you created your podcast because of this zone of genius. So it's very important to do this exercise. So now let's craft your perfect avatar. Now that you have your zone of genius, you know what you're going to be talking about. Okay, whether that's woodworking or metal shop or entrepreneurialism or laptop lifestyle, whatever it is, right? Cooking, whatever that zone of genius is for you, that's from it. Okay, but once you create that, now you have to craft your perfect avatar. All right, so what is your perfect avatar? For me, my perfect avatar, his name is Henry. All right, he's 32 years old. He's married with a wife. He has 2 children, ages 5 and 7. He drives to work. He's in commute 30 minutes to work and 45 minutes back because he does encounter some traffic. He's secretly within himself and deep within his core, he wants to get out of his 9-to-5 grind and create his own economy so he can spend more time with his family. Okay, he's wondering, why does he always spend 80% of his time doing the things that he doesn't like doing, and only 20% of the time doing the things that he really loves doing, which is spending time with his family and his kids and doing the things as a family. He's in traffic. He's at a job that he hates, that it's a dead-end job that he doesn't see a future at. This is my perfect avatar. When I create my podcast, I'm talking to Henry. Okay, I'm not talking to the world. All right, I'm talking to one person. And that's how I've been able to craft my perfect avatar. Okay, when we talk about avatars, I've heard different people say, my perfect avatar is 28 age 28 through 42, they're male, they're married, they might have kids or not. Things like that. That's demographics, right? We're not talking about demographics here. We're talking about your perfect avatar. Who is the person that is going to be listening to you day in, day out? And when you know how to craft your perfect avatar, and when you crafted your perfect avatar, then you know how to really come to your audience in a way that is going to be, I now get emails like, Martin, man, I didn't know that happened to you, or man, I had a similar situation happen to me, or man, that podcast really touched me because it seemed like you were talking to me. How do I know that? Because I'm talking to Henry. I'm talking to Henry, and I know who this person is more than who they know themselves. They probably don't even know themselves as much as I know them. Okay, so anytime I create my podcast, I'm talking to this specific person, and that's how I have been able to create Warrior Nation, and we're growing. Okay, we're an infant right now. We're an infant podcast. The vision is to go on forever. The vision is, this is my legacy. This is my legacy to the world. Okay, so my podcast will endure forever, and that's what you can do with the podcast. It's an audio file. It will always be on iTunes. Okay, so that's how you create your perfect avatar. That's how you craft it. Okay, you make sure it's either female or male. Make sure you know the age, specific age. Don't tell me age 28 through 45. Like, that's not specific. Get specific with this. Drill deep within this, with this exercise right here. And if you need to go back to it, go back to it. Okay, but make sure you craft your perfect avatar so you know who you're speaking to when you're cutting your podcast. Okay, and if you ever need a shift in the way you're marketing or in the way you're doing something, always ask, what will Henry do, right? What will Henry do? And when you understand that, then now you can, now you can craft certain things. And what does Henry want? Henry wants to learn how to podcast. That's why I'm creating this valuable workshop today, because Henry's actually, not, maybe not Henry in himself, but my perfect avatar has actually asked me and reached out, like, how do you create I see you're exploding your podcast. How do you actually do that? So now that's why we're having this workshop, my friend. So it's very powerful. So now how to get to the zone of genius. We know what a podcast is. We know why we should be podcasting, the ups of podcasting, right? The benefits of podcasting. Let's now go into one thing that really stopped me from podcasting for 5 months. Okay. And it's really the requirements, the system requirements, the tools, the softwares, all that good stuff that you need as a podcaster. I let that, really just keep me from starting my podcast. And I look back on it, it's like, wow, how did I let that happen? And it's just the stories that us as human beings, we tell ourselves, right? So anyways, we're gonna break through all those barriers. If you were like me and you're like, man, I don't know, I'm not technical, I don't know how to do this, but I understand that it's powerful, I just don't know how to do it. We're gonna break through it today. I'm gonna show you everything what you need, and it's not a lot of things. It's gonna be very few that you might be thinking that you need a lot more, but it's not even that. Number one, you need a computer. Either computer, or you need a tablet, okay, or your phone. You can also do a podcast on your phone. All you do is record your audio, okay. So you need some type of computer based mechanism, okay. Number two, you need a microphone, okay, because since it's audio, you want to make sure that you're gathering the audio as perfectly as you can, okay. So you don't want to be creating your podcast and not have a mic, and you're speaking into your computer's microphone, but then you get all the backgrounds in the back, and it just, remember, you're going to be in people's ears. So if they're listening to you and they start hearing all this static and all this crazy stuff in the background, it might not suit them well. So you want to make sure you have a microphone. And number three, you want to have your recording and editing software. Okay, three simple things. You don't need more than that, which is crazy because I thought you needed a whole bunch of tools. You needed recording software, you needed how to edit. I mean, although you need all that, but I thought I was gonna spend thousands of dollars, which is crazy that it's not even like that. So those are the three things. Okay, computer, microphone, recording, and editing software. So let's talk about the microphones. Number one, we'll go with the low end, and then we'll move up to the high end. Okay, for me, The low end is Logitech Clear Chat. Okay, it's $29 or $30. It looks like this. Okay, and believe it or not, this is actually what I'm using right now to do my hangouts. Okay, I started with this before I even started podcasting, so my audio. I mean, people say it's the low end, but I mean, this is my go-to my go until I move up in my podcasting career. But at this moment, this is what I'm using. It sounds great. You guys can hear me, and the audio gets recorded perfectly. So you don't need a lot of money, guys. You don't need a lot of money to start. This is the low end. We also have a medium end, which is the ATR 2100. It's about $60. It looks like this, and you're able to, just put it on your computer on your desk, and you're able to speak into the mic, and it just records it really, really well. And then we have the higher end, which is sort of like the Cadillac of the microphones. It's the Heel PR. It's a 327, and it looks like this bad boy. Okay, this is really, what the studios use and stuff like that. But I mean, you pick your choice, whatever one you like. For me, I mean, the Logitech is great. I like it. It's very it has a long cord, as you can see, so I'm able to move around, and being able to when I'm doing my interviews, I don't have to just be seated. I can move around and express myself a little bit more. The other ones, I mean, you choose your pick. I mean, if you're low on ends and low on funds, then don't let that stop you. Go with the Logitech. A few more dollars in the bank, and you want to, go for the 327, the Cadillac of them, the Heel PR, then hey, you make that decision. But just know you don't need that one to get started. You can go with the Logitech for $30, and you can get your podcast out there to the world. Okay, and then improve as you go. All right, don't let these microphones stop you. All right, just go to, you can get it at Best Buy. You can get it on Amazon. Just you purchase it. Okay, just make sure you have it. If you already have it, even better. Now let's talk about the 8-step process to producing your podcast. Okay, it's very simple 8-step process, and it could seem a little daunting at first, but as soon as you get the process down, and I'm going to go through the process, I'm actually going to demo it for you guys right now in a bit, but it's really simple. Okay, there's 8 steps. Okay, if you guys want to record this, or I don't know, take a screenshot, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Or if you're looking at the replay, just stop it and you can go through this. But the very first thing that you want to do in your podcast is number one, you want to record your audio. Okay, your podcast, the meat and potatoes of your podcast. Okay. Number 2, you want to make sure that you have an intro. Okay, you just explain a little bit about what the podcast, or that could be a good time to put the episode number. Number 3 is you got to once you create your podcast, you gotta export your podcast. Okay, you gotta make it an MP3. Okay, so once you created the raw file, you gotta now export it as an MP3, so you can now send it to iTunes and to all these other platforms that I just talked about. Number 4, you want to tag your MP3, okay? Because although you created an audio file, the iTunes and Stitcher Radio and SoundCloud, they don't actually know what that file is. So you actually have to tag it. So when they get your RSS feed and they scroll and they crawl your page, they know what this actually audio, what it actually contains inside of it. Okay, so I'm going to share with you how to actually tag your MP3 so you get found and you get more people looking at your podcast. Number 5 is uploading your podcast now. Okay, so uploading it to your hosting account. Number 6 is now scheduling your actual post to go out. Okay, go out to the world, go out to the big platforms like iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud. Okay, so scheduling. Number 7 is now publishing your podcast. Okay, so once you've scheduled it, now actually publishing it so it can go out there to the world. And number 8 is submitting your podcast to iTunes. All right, so that's really the 8-step process. And the last one is really you do it one time, and then from there, just anytime you submit, you go through the 7 steps. The eighth one automatically does it because you're already hooked up to iTunes. So that's the simple 8-step process to producing your podcast. Number one, record. Number two, add an intro. Number three, export. Number four, tag MP3. Number five, upload. Number six, schedule. Number seven is publish your podcast. And number eight is submit it to iTunes. So very simple 8-step process. Once we go through it, I'm actually going to show you a demo in a bit, okay? But now we're getting close to, I believe, the hour now. So let's actually, I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit because I want to show you and demonstrate you the demo of actually how to go through that 8-step process. But now let's talk about the recording software, the software that you actually need in order for you to record your audio. Number one, there's Audacity, okay? Audacity, it's free. You can just do a Google search for Audacity. It's mostly for PCs, okay? So if you're a PC, I have a PC. If you have a Mac, then you can use GarageBand, okay? GarageBand is also a way to actually record your audio. You can do cool stuff in the GarageBand. For me, I use Audacity. That's just what I started off with. And I'm going to show you a demo in Audacity because that's just what I know. I don't have a Mac, so we'll go with Audacity. And then for those of you that there's also another one. This one's paid. Audacity and GarageBand are both free. Okay, GarageBand comes with the Mac. It's already installed. Adobe Audition, that one I believe it's like $20 a month. But but you get all more functions and bells and whistles than I guess you would with Audacity and GarageBand. So it's either up to you. So Audacity, that's free. I love free things, right? So I went with Audacity. I sought that one out, and I learned to master Audacity. So once you actually create your audio, remember, now you have to upload it. You have to upload it to a hosting program. Okay, so think of a blog, right? You have a blog, you have some property out there in the World Wide Web, and you have a hosting company that host your blog. Well, in podcasting, you have a hosting company that hosts your MP3 files. Okay, and you want to have a hosting company. Okay, and for me, there's two, but the one that I am using at the moment is called Libsyn. Okay, podcast hosting Libsyn. It's short for Liberated Syndication. And the reason why I like Libsyn is because, number one, they pioneered the system to host and publish podcasts in 2004. Okay, so they've been around since the beginning. Since then, they have grown to the largest leading podcast network. And in 2011, Libsyn hosted over 10,000 shows with over 1.6 billion downloads. All right, and what I love about Libsyn is they actually give you all the statistics of where people are actually, number one, what episode are people downloading? So you get statistics on that. You also get statistics on, the amount of downloads you have. Plus, you also get, in certain accounts, you get, the statistics on a global range of downloads. So I now have been downloaded in 54 different countries. So there's people listening in Europe. There's people listening in South America, North America, Canada, Japan, Ireland. I mean, there's 54 different ones. It's crazy. So you're now able to get all that stats. And another thing, it's a syndication platform. So what does that mean? A syndication platform means that once you upload your podcast to Libsyn, you have already, and this usually happens in the beginning before anything, right? You set up your accounts like Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. They also give you your own personal website within Libsyn that you're able to upload to that too. So there's all these different places. So once you submit and you hit publish, that actually goes to all the different platforms, the social media platforms that you've created and you've uploaded to Libsyn. So you're in essence syndicating it to all these platforms. You're doing work one time and you're leveraging your time. You're leveraging this platform, and that's really, really why I love it. Plus the stats, obviously. The second hosting you can go with is called SoundCloud. Okay, SoundCloud is starting to get a lot more popular now. It's also you can also host your MP3s there. Again, I started with Libsyn, and I just love Libsyn. It gives me a lot of stats that I really want to know as a podcast host, especially when I'm like, man, who is listening to this? Is there anyone even listening to what I have to say? And then the next day you see, man, there was like 1,000 downloads. It's like, wow, people are actually listening. That's awesome. That gives you excitement, and it gives you it makes you unstoppable, right? It makes like, man, I'm gonna keep going for the people that are listening. So you're able to get a lot more stats with Libsyn. But you know, these are two. I give you two. You know, do your research, do your homework as well. Go on, you know, and research them and pick the one that you feel best with. So now let's actually go into a demo, and let's actually go into. Let me switch up my screen real quick. And who's getting value? If you guys are getting value, I know it's kind of got dark on me. But anyways, if you guys are getting value, then I'm pumped up still. I'm ready to go. I'm still ready to rock. We still have a few more slides to go, but I'm going to show you the demo now. And give me 1 second as I bring it up. And where are we at? 1 second, guys. All right, so here we go. Audacity. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen now. We're now in Audacity. Okay, you guys should be able to see like a gray screen. Okay, and here this is the back office. Once you download, go do a search for Audacity, get it for free, download it to your computer. There's no viruses. I did it myself. I didn't get no viruses. So this is now the software that you use to actually create your podcast. Okay, this is what it looks like. So you have a few buttons here. You have the record button, you have the play button, you have the pause button, stop button. You have a few buttons up here, different effects. I'm not going to go too crazy on that right now. I'm just going to show you how to create an intro, how to create the body of your podcast, and then how to create an outro, and then how to tag it and export it to Libsyn. Okay, so let me just do that now. So I just want to double check, see if you guys can see my screen. You guys should be able to see my screen. It's gray. Okay, so boom. So I'm going to do the intro. This is the intro to your podcast. Boom. That's it. That's the intro. It's very, very simple, very to the point. Now, this is the meat and potatoes of your podcast. This is where you're going to be talking some more value to your marketplace. You're going to, tap into your avatar and really just give value. So that is actually the meat and potatoes of the podcast, right? So you have an intro, which is this one. You have the meat and potatoes, which is this one. And then you have the outro. So I'm now creating the outro to the podcast. And this is where you can put, little things, little commercials in there, maybe some sponsorships. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So that's it. That's a podcast in essence, right? In essence, in the short form. And I can move this around. I can put that there. I can go here and move this up here if I want. I can delete this if I want. And then if I play it, all right. So now if I play it, then it'll just play what I just recorded. Okay. So here's the intro. Right, here's the intro section, here's the meat and potatoes of it, and here's the outro. Right, so now that's in essence a podcast, right? Obviously this is just demo purpose, but now what you would do is you would export it. Okay, so you would want to go here, you'll hit this export button, and now we're telling the computer that we want to export this file as an MP3 player, as an MP3 file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name it PBM5. PBM5, Podcast Master Blueprint 5. And then now here's the tagging. Remember, one of the 8-step process, you got to tag your actual MP3 now, right? Because it doesn't have, if I put this and I just leave it like that, the iTunes, Stitch Radio, SoundCloud, they're not going to know what this audio is about, right? They don't even know. They don't go into and listen to it. You actually have to tell them what your audio is about. Okay, just like a blog, right? If you have any H1 tags or header or alt tags or anything like that, you actually got to let them know. So what I do is I just load. I just save the master one. Okay, so it loads. My artist name is Martin. Track title is Unstoppable Journey. Episode. Let's just do, I don't know. 2220. Okay, track number, just put 2220. Right, it's year 2015. The genre is business. Okay, so I'll go ahead and hit OK, and now it's starting to make it as an MP3. Did you just see that? Boom, that's an MP3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into I'm gonna go into SoundCloud, or not SoundCloud. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go into where are we at? That's not what I wanted to show. Sorry, guys. Stop showing that. I don't want to show that. I'm gonna go into Libsyn. Give me 1 second as I bring it up. Okay. I'm gonna go into Libsyn. You guys should now see the Libsyn website. I'm gonna log in. Okay, so you see I'm logging into my back office now. Okay, and it's just gonna take a little bit. Okay, now I'm in my back office. This is a back office. So as you can see, we have some stat snap. Okay, all time 81,543. It's grown past few hours. Okay, here's the one where I was talking about. Man, is anyone listening to this podcast right now? And then you have 1,179. I was like my second best day in the podcasting, besides when I was on iTunes. But new and noteworthy would get a ton of traffic. But I was just like, man, is anyone listening to this podcast? I was getting a little down. But then I got into the live event. I was like, man, I'm doing everything. This is gonna take off, right? This is no matter what. This is my legacy. So anyways, so you get stats right there. You go here to content, you add a new episode, okay? And now I'm demonstrating how to actually upload your created podcast, your MP3 file. Okay, so I'm gonna hit add new. I'm gonna hit upload. I'm gonna go to not here. I'm gonna go to my desktop. I'm gonna go to podcast folder. I named it PBM5, I believe. So PBM5, this one right here, I'm going to go ahead and upload. So while that's uploading, as you can see, it's kind of fast, right? It's already processing. You're going to hit a title. This right there, bam, it's already uploaded. As you can see, upload successful. So the title section, I just put this is where you add a title. Just time purposes, we're gonna move on a little bit. So this is where you add your subtitle. This is where the descriptions go, and all this right here, guys. This will be synced up to the iTunes, to Stitcher Radio, to SoundCloud. This will be linked up. So anything you put right here, this is what you're telling iTunes that what this podcast is actually about. Besides the tags are good too, and you have to have them. But right here, this is all the details that are going to go into your iTunes, and I'll show you in a little bit once we get there. Once we upload, once I show you how to upload to iTunes, I'll share with you what I'm talking about on here. Okay, the title, subtitle, description. And what you also can do here, which is cool, right here, once you set this up once, you no longer have to mess with it ever again. You literally put your thumbnail, you put that you want it to be in, you put the tags, and every episode it automatically uploads those tags and your artwork, so you don't ever have to do it again, which is awesome. Right here, it's a syndication platform, so you can actually syndicate to Twitter, you can syndicate to Facebook, all right, and then plus all the other places that you've put your syndication login details into. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything there. Here's the schedule button. One of the processes is now to schedule it, right? Once you've done it, you uploaded it, now you've tagged it, now you're going to schedule your podcast. Okay, you're going to schedule the release, so you can release immediately. Like if I just hit publish right now, if I just hit release automatically, right, it'll go and then it'll show up. What if I didn't want to release it right now? What if I want to release it, I don't know, in year 2024, April 20th, right? 4/20/2024, right, at 12 p.m. Well, I now have the opportunity to do that. And here's where it really gets interesting. This is where I'm really going to start moving into, but I kind of like doing them, fresh the day of. But just talking to different people using this right here. It's now like a blog. So let's just say that you're going on vacation in July, right? You're going for 2 weeks, and you're going to be on vacation. You're not going to want a podcast, right? So what you can do is you can actually create your podcast in advance, and while you're on vacation in July, you can actually have them go scheduled out, right? You can schedule them out to go the days that you're going to be on vacation, and it's still like you're podcasting. You're still there. You're still in the front lines, right? But you're having a time of your life with your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever you're with. Just imagine being in on a beach sipping margaritas with one of your teammates, right? And your podcast can still go out, and people are still going to listen to your message. All right, imagine that. So that's very, very powerful. So I'm gonna do it for 420 2014. Then I'm gonna go hit publish. Okay, I'm gonna hit publish because it's not gonna publish right now. It's gonna publish in 2024, right? So once I did that, now it's showing me that mine is now published, right? Or it's actually going into publishing. And if you want to check it, all you have to go is to scheduled for release, awaiting approval. All right, so you go into that tab, and now it says it's going to be this right here, this is the where I added the title. That's the title of the podcast. It's now scheduled to go out on April 20th, 2024 at 12 p.m. So now do you guys see the power of scheduling, right? You can schedule things in advance, and you don't even have to be in front of your computer while it goes out. It's going to automatically go out because you set it for the time. So that is that in essence is how you know the 8-step process into producing your podcast. Last thing that I'm going to show you is step number 8 is actually going into iTunes and actually so when you're in Libsyn or you're in SoundCloud, they're going to give you a feed, an RSS feed, right? With this RSS feed, like mine is the unstoppablejourney.libsyn.com/RSS. That RSS feed right there it now tells iTunes, anytime I release something, they will now crawl my RSS feed and they will update their system, or Stitcher Radio will do the same thing, okay? Or SoundCloud or any other places that you want to put your podcast on, they now will go ahead and get updated without you having to update that manually. So it's a big time saver, and that's why I love Libsyn. So you would grab, in order for you to actually let me just share with you how to actually upload it to iTunes now. So you would, in Libsyn, you would go to destinations, you would hit you would just click on destinations, and it would take you to this window right here. You would grab this RSS feed. Okay, I'm just gonna hit copy right there, and I would go to iTunes. Okay, so let me just switch over to iTunes real quick. And where's my iTunes at? Where are you? Right here. All right, so this is iTunes right here. Okay, this is iTunes Store. And if you guys can see this right here, which I'm pretty sure you can, is where the new and noteworthy, right? This section right here, just so you guys know, okay, this is the section that I was able to dominate in 3 different categories. But the new and noteworthy, I mean, just look at, I just came into iTunes right now. My computer's freezing a little bit. Sorry, guys. Sex nerd. I didn't want to go into that, but okay. If you guys like the sex nerd Sandra, then you might want to go into that podcast. I didn't want to go into that one, but okay. So right here, look at my mentor, the very first person who is podcasting now. I started podcasting for him, and look at now he's gone on to start his very own, which I'm a fan of, Self-Made Dillard. It's an awesome podcast. If you guys love business and learning how to explode your business, then you definitely want to listen to that. It brings a lot of great guests. So this new and noteworthy right here, guys, is prime real estate. People that the 525 million people that are active on iTunes, they see this first. Okay, so if you're on this right here, the new and noteworthy, like Dillard is, all these people that are on here, okay, then you now have an opportunity to get into, you know, massive amount of people looking at your product and service. So, and there's actually a formula to get here. Okay, I'm going to share with you when I get back to the keynote. I'll share with you how you can get on here and how I was able to get onto the new and noteworthy and really explode my business. But remember, I talked about the different categories. There's arts, there's business, there's community, education, games and hobbies. Okay, there's let me see. I just want to see that you guys still see my screen. There's games and hobbies, there's education. I was able to get onto business, education, and technology. 3 different categories. There's government organizations, health, kids and family, music, news and politics, religion and spirituality, science, medicine. There's so many different ones. So that's why I said once you find your zone of genius, you can now create a podcast from that zone of genius. Okay, there's people out there that are waiting to listen to your value, my friend. Okay, stop playing small, right? We're no longer playing small on our journey. We're only here for X amount of years, guys, and sometimes people's lives get cut short. So we gotta play full out while we're here, while we're able to, right? So don't play small, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, moving on. This is where you would submit your podcast. So if you haven't submitted a podcast yet, once you did the 7 steps, this is the 8th step, and you only got to do it one time. So you would hit the submit a podcast link right here, and that will take you to now being able to submit your RSS feed. Okay, and what you're going to do is see right here, this RSS feed, podcast feed URL. I'm now going to paste my RSS feed that I got from Libsyn. Okay, is that making sense, guys? Go ahead and let me know if that's making sense. Just say, yes, making sense. Just type it in so I know that you guys are still here and you guys are still, really just, getting massive value. Just type in, yes, I understand. I'm making sense. Oh, I take a quick drink. Awesome. Cool. So that's where you're going to paste your RSS feed, okay? And once you submit it, hit continue. I'm not going to hit continue because obviously I already have mine up, but once you hit continue, it usually takes anywhere between 48 and 72 hours to get your podcast up onto iTunes. For me, it's crazy. I actually submitted it on the 31st, which was first Halloween, and I got accepted on November 1st. So within 17 hours, I don't know if it was because it was Halloween or it was a Friday or whatnot. Maybe somebody in the office was having a Halloween party and they just, hey, this one sounds cool, let me just add them. I don't know. But mine was actually submitted and accepted within 17 hours. So it usually, on average, is between 48 and 72 hours. But if you launch it on a Friday, you might get lucky, like I did, and get it up and running within 17 hours. So, anyways, this is the last step of the 8-step process to launching your podcast. Okay, so once you created it, once you uploaded it, you tagged it, you put it on Libsyn, and you got your RSS feed. Now you're going to take that RSS feed and you're gonna put it in here, and that is it. Okay, that's all you have to do. And now anytime you create a podcast, now you only have to do 7 steps. Okay, you don't have to go through this final step right here every single time because it's already submitted. Anytime you launch a podcast and you hit publish, iTunes will automatically update on its own. Okay, it might take 30 minutes to an hour or whatnot, but it will automatically update on its own. You don't have to do anything else, and that's why I love Libsyn, because it saves me a lot of time. And that's the 8 simple steps to creating, launching, and producing your podcast. That's the final one. So let's actually jump back into the keynote, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So give me 1 second while I go back to the keynote. If you guys are getting value, I'm here to provide as much as I possibly can. So I'm still loving it. If you're watching the replay, guys, go ahead and you guys can still ask questions. Now's the time to ask them, because I still get, if you're watching the replay, I still get the questions. I'm still able to respond back to you using this new platform that I have. So if you're watching the replay, let me know that you're getting value. If you have any questions, let me know as well. So remember I talked about the perfect launch plan, okay, how to maximize new and noteworthy? Well, just like Mike Dillard, he's maximizing new and noteworthy right now. He has millions of people that he now can, really just see his podcast. Okay. But there's actually a formula in order for you to get to the new and noteworthy. Okay, you're not new and noteworthy for any reason. You might be new, but after, I believe it's 56 days, you actually are no longer new. So they actually take you off of new and noteworthy. And to be noteworthy, you have to do certain things in order for them to consider you noteworthy. So here's the launch plan. Here's the blueprint in order for you to actually launch and get onto new and noteworthy as a new podcaster. Number one, you want to launch with episode 000. Okay. That's the very first episode. And what you want to do, think of it sort of like your about page, okay, about the show, like a blog, you have the about section, where episode 000 is you telling the listener what your show is going to be. And I recommend, just this is just my preference, my recommendation. I mean, you can do it however you want, but for me, this right here should be, I don't know, 15 no longer than 20 minutes max. Okay. There's some people that I've listened to their first episode and it's like an hour long, and I'm like, man, I don't even know if I want to invest that time to listen to their podcast. So if you give people, bite chunks of what you're actually going to be talking about. You give a little bit about your background as the host so they can get to know you. That's where that like factor starts to play in. That's where that trust factor starts to play in as they start to hear your voice over and over again. But for me, I mean, I kept mine. I don't even know at the moment, but I think it's like 15 minutes. No more than that. But I was able to explain what the show is going to be about, when I'm launching the shows, what we're going to be talking about, how the format's going to be of the show, what they can expect. That's the 000. Okay. And then you want to launch with 3 shows. Okay. 000 is actually one of your shows. So you're going to launch with 2 other shows, episode 1, episode 2. But you want to launch when you submit your RSS feed to iTunes. Okay. When you submit that RSS feed, you want to submit it with 3 shows in Libsyn already. Not 1 or not 10, but 3. Okay, this is part of the blueprint, guys, because here's why. If you launch 1, someone goes to your podcast and they see 1, they see, okay, this person launched 1, but I don't see any other ones, so it might not be a good show, and I don't know, he's not committed, so I don't know if it's even worth my time to download this podcast at the moment. And let's just give an example. If you have 100 people that downloaded your podcast, okay, but you only have 1 episode, you essentially have 100 downloads, right? 1 person, 100 people, or one podcast, 100 people, that's 100 downloads, okay? If you launch with 3, okay, then the person sees that, they land on your page, your iTunes page, they see that, and they actually say committed, he launched 3. Okay, so I think it's, it might be worth my time to download this person, especially if I like the first episode, second episode. Let me download it. But if you have those same 100 people and you have 3 episodes there, right, and they subscribe to your podcast, you now got 300 downloads as opposed to 100 downloads. So those 300 downloads now help you get to the new and noteworthy. Okay, it's part of the formula. If you launch with 10, it's just overwhelming to somebody. They see 10, they're like, oh, I don't have time for that. And the formula is launching with 3, episode 0 and 2 more. Make sure you write that down. Okay, that's the formula to get onto the new and noteworthy. And here's what wraps that up and it ties it into a book. Ask your listeners to subscribe, rate, and review your podcast. This is a must. It must be in your vocabulary. You only have 8 weeks or 56 days to capitalize on the new and noteworthy. So you only have 8 weeks in order for you to get onto the new and noteworthy and get millions and millions and millions of people looking at your podcast. All right. And if you don't do it within the 56 days, then, I mean, it's hard to say that you're new anymore. iTunes is going to know when you actually launch it. They're not going to put you in the news section anymore. So you want to make sure that you're asking for subscribes, rate, and review. It must be in your vocabulary. You have to say that in your episode. Hey, by the way, I'm on iTunes. I'm new. I would appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe. Download it, rate it, and review. Tell your family members, hey, I just launched a podcast. Do me a favor, go ahead and listen to episode 1 and episode 2. Let me know. Subscribe, rate it, review it, give me your honest opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine. Just go, you can delete it afterwards. I don't care what you do. All I need is for you to download it, subscribe, and rate and review it, and give me your opinion, because I want to get better as a podcaster. Okay. And when you do that and you get enough people to do that, and you get your friends and family, or your acquaintances, or people at work, or just people that on your network, you let them know and you tell them to do that for you, then you now get seen as a noteworthy podcast, and iTunes puts you up onto the prime real estate of their platform. And I'm telling you, millions and millions of people are now seeing not only your artwork, which is your logo and all that, but now they can tap into your podcast, and it just opens up the gates to many more people listening to your podcast. So that's the launch formula. So let's now talk about your audience using social media. You can use social media like Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Pinterest, or YouTube. Okay, all the social networks, and you can tap into these platforms to get your name out there, get people to listen to you, get people to subscribe, rate, and review, and listen to your podcast. If you have an email list, okay, if you have an email list, you can email them. Hey, I just started a brand new podcast. I just launched it. Do me a favor, go ahead and check it out. And also in your vocab, put let them know. Hey, make sure you subscribe, you download, you rate, and you review it. I really appreciate that. And if you want to give them a little bonus, maybe someone who shows you a screenshot. I don't know. You do 15-minute free consultation or something. I don't know. Whatever it may be, you figure that out, right? But an email list, you can actually grow your audience using your email list as well. And another one is really big, is text messaging. I don't know if you're anything like me, but if can you relate to this picture, right? Your phone is sort of chained to your wrist, right, to your hand. You can't go anywhere without it. So if you send a text message letting people know, hey, I just released a podcast, here's the link, go check it out, download it, subscribe, rate it, and review it. Now you have an opportunity to get massive amounts of people reviewing your podcast, whether it's a 1-star or 5-star, it doesn't matter. Okay. I mean, obviously you want to get a 5-star or a 4-star, but as long as people are downloading, subscribing, and reviewing it, then you have a chance to get onto that new and noteworthy platform and get people seeing your podcast. And that's how you grow a massive audience. That's how I was able to grow up to 81,000 in only, it's really November, 6 short months? Very, very short. We're in an infant stage still. Right? Remember, I'm going to do this. This is one of my strategies that's going to be my DNA, that's going to be doing forever. This is my legacy. So I call it infant, right? We're still in the infant stages. So anyways, another way to grow your audience is to leverage your past guest list. Okay. It's a new audience to tap into. Okay. Like people that I've brought on, like Nicole Lappin. Okay. She's very well known, person in the industry and in her industry. She just, she's an author. She's a TV host. Vidal Cisneros Jr. I was able to, bring him on the podcast. Leah Mules and Dean Lewis. Okay, I was able to bring them on and now tap into, as soon as their podcast goes live, I'm now able to send them a message. Hey, by the way, your podcast just went live. I'm so thankful. By the way, if you want to share this with your audience, go ahead and share it. Here are the links. And what happens? They reciprocate it because it's really featuring them. I'm really featuring them as a guest on my show, and who wouldn't want their audience to know more about them and what they're doing at the moment, right? So they always, tend to share. So that's another audience, another way I've been able to grow my downloads and people listening to the podcast, because I bring on other guests that now share it with their audience. So that's an audience I never even had before. Okay, is that making sense? How to grow your audience by leveraging other people? Okay, and the higher in their influence that they have, right, the more eyeballs you're going to get. So I'm just pumped up for the people I'm bringing on next, because they have a big influence within their industry. So I'm excited for that, and I just know that the Unstoppable Journey is going to explode even more. So now we're getting to the final stretch, guys, right? So let's I'm going to talk about now how to actually monetize. So you're probably saying, okay, cool. It's a podcast. It's free. I can grow my audience. That's cool, but it's free. How am I going to make money with this, right? It's free. I don't know how am I going to make money with this, Martin? Tell me. I'm going to invest all this time and energy. Like how how can I make money with this? So that's a great question. I had the same question when I was asking around too. But one thing that I found that you can do is really, and what I do, and I'm just gonna demonstrate what I do because this is how I'm doing it. But one is affiliate marketing. Okay. If you don't know what affiliate marketing is, basically somebody has a product, you're able to partner up with that person and you're able to offer their product and service to other people. When they purchase, you make a commission off of that, right? You make a percentage off of what they bought. And there's a ton of affiliate products out there. I'm sort of selective in the ones that I promote, but I want to make sure that the things that I promote is going to be, number one, helpful for me and my audience, but it's going to impact others. So you can do affiliate marketing. So if you don't know what that is, we can have a conversation later about that. But number one, how to monetize your podcast is use affiliate marketing. Number two, personal coaching. Okay, you can personal coach. If you're in an industry right now and you're having a podcast and you're teaching somebody else certain things and certain concepts, you can now coach them. You can coach people. Anyone that is under you that doesn't have the knowledge that you have, you can coach them. Okay, you can coach them, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a bit. So number two is personal coaching. Number three is a mastermind. Okay, you can create a mastermind, and that's really what my bigger vision is when I was talking about going on tour and really just being able to create these masterminds in different locations around the country. But you can create a mastermind. You can create an audience, and those that like and trust you, and they starting to know you through your podcast. You can create a mastermind. And for me, I'm rolling out Warrior Nation Elite. So Warrior Nation Elite is going to be a private mastermind group that will eventually get monetized to help my audience grow whatever business they're growing and whatever podcast they're growing as well, and just to create a community of Warrior Nation elites. Number four is sponsorships. Okay, as soon as you start growing an audience, there's people out there, businesses willing, especially if you're in a very tight niche market. Okay, something like woodworking or I don't know, babies, I don't know, whatever it may be, right? Neuro science, whatever it is, whatever your niche that you're in. Okay, the more specific, the more chances of you getting a sponsorship, because you can go now. If you say, hey, you go to a sponsorship, you say, hey, I have 100,000 downloads, then now you can walk into their office or on the phone and say, hey, I now have built an audience of 100,000 people, and these people, I believe, will love your service. So do you believe that you can tap into this audience and really make it a win-win situation? And you'll be surprised on the people that will say yes, because they know that if you have data to back up that you actually have built an audience and they like the very similar things that what they're offering, now they can just be a sponsored guest or a sponsored audio 15-minute roll or 30-second B-roll, and they pay you monthly. Okay, so before your podcast is even created, they will actually have paid you in order for you to podcast. So those are 4 ways to actually monetize a podcast. You can do it with affiliate marketing. You can create personal coaching. You can create mastermind groups, and you can go out to sponsors. And just like radios, if you think of a radio, right? Why do they have millions and millions of commercials, right? It's because those are sponsored ads going on the commercial, because they know that they have a certain target audience, and whatever their product or service that they're selling will fit to that custom audience. Very similar to podcasting. Okay, you create an audience, and now you can go to these different companies, say, hey, I built this audience, and sponsoring 15-second or 30-second role where we'll talk about your business, and my audience, I believe they will get tremendous value from that. And if they say yes, then you work out a deal, right? And that's how you're able to get paid for creating an audience. And those are the 4 simple ways to monetize your podcast. So if you follow the step-by-step blueprint that I've just outlined inside of this powerful podcast mastery blueprint presentation, then your ability to create your ultimate lifestyle and buy back your time and your freedom with speed, ease, and pleasure will simply shock you, my friend. Now, because I only had about 60 minutes, and we're actually about a little over than that now on this hangout. I didn't really get the opportunity to go into the deep psychology and strategic process to generate endless amounts of leads to your podcast for maximum efficiency. So I want to offer you a free one-on-one coaching session, with me to help you get some clarity on the process to set up and build your own stealth recruiting funnel branded to you, okay, and how to create this podcast. So I didn't have enough time to go into all this deep psychology. I mean, we only have actually went overboard than what I really wanted to. But for those of you that are still here, and if you're watching the replay, then I do want to offer you a free one-on-one coaching session. It's absolutely free. We get on the Skype call, we get on the hangout. You ask me questions, I'll be able to answer them. We'll get, a little bit, we'll get to know you and your business a little bit, and then create a plan of action to take in order for you to move your business along, right? So if you want this free offer, all right, simply go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Once again, theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Okay, it's a questionnaire that you're gonna fill out. It's a simple application, just very simple stuff that you would do. Just so I can get to know you and your business a little bit, and I'll see how I can craft something a blueprint in order for you to execute. So simply go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching to really just fill that application out. It takes no more than 5-10 minutes to fill out, and we'll be on the call within the next 48 hours or so. So theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching in order for you to get signed up for the free application, free coaching call, and strategic session. So for those of you that are still here to the end, I promise you a special gift, my friend. And I promise we're wrapping this up. But if you're still watching this right now, or even if you're watching the replay, I promise you a special gift in the beginning. And what I want to tell you is, excuse me. Sorry about that. My voice is going out. I shared with you the bigness of podcasting and creating an audience, but this has really been my secret special weapon that I use in order for me to actually capture my leads and capture an audience and being able to go back to them. Is really this free lead capture page software. You can find it at mymittspages.com. That's mymittspages.com. You can sign up. There's a free version. There's also a premium version, but you can do everything in the free version, besides one or two things than the premium version. But right here, remember I told you I didn't own a computer till sophomore year in college. So for me to have, I always look for tools in order to leverage my time, right, to make things simpler and faster. So mymittspages.com is one of those tools that I recommend to everybody needs to build their list. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what business you're in, what company you're in, what network marketing, what MLM. It doesn't matter. If you have a podcast, it doesn't matter. If you're an author, it doesn't matter. You want to create a audience. You want to capture people's information so you can always go back to them and always market to them. So this is my special gift to you for staying to the end. mymittspages.com. Go there, sign up. It's free. And start creating professional looking capture. I mean, just check this one out. I mean, it's fully customizable. You can put pictures in the background, make it look super nice. You don't have to spend it, really doing this for you. You can do it on your own and for free if you really wanted to. So that's my gift to you for staying to the end. So lastly, if you'd like to take me up on this free coaching offer that I just shared with you, simply go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. That's theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. So now, this is the final. I just want to ask if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. And I'm going to take a quick drink of water and I'm going to look through the questions. So if you have any questions, if you're still on, or even if you're watching the replay, you can still ask questions. So if you have questions, let me know. So any questions, let me know. I'm here to answer them. I'm here to serve you. We'll probably ask questions for the next 3 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know before we actually go ahead and exit this keynote. So if you have any questions, type them in, and we'll continue to roll on. So if you're still watching this right now, either in the live or in the replay, I do want to say thank you for being here. I know you can be anywhere in the world, but you're investing some time to learn this information that I've invested time to learn in, and now I'm bringing it to you. But I do have a small request from you. If you got value and if you want to just repay me back with value and say thank you, simply go to iTunes. Okay, simply go to iTunes and subscribe to the Unstoppable Journey podcast. Okay, just do a search for the Unstoppable Journey podcast and go ahead and leave and subscribe, download it, and go ahead and leave an honest review. Rate it either 3, 4, 1, whatever it is, right? I'm always looking to get better as a podcaster. So even if I'm a 1, you don't like my podcast, that's fine. You never have to listen again. Just make sure you leave a review and why you don't like it, right? Or whatever. Just so I know I'm always looking to improve as a podcaster myself. So just leave an honest review. And that's all I ask. So simply go, the Unstoppable Journey. This is my artwork. You can look for it on iTunes. Find me on Stitch Radio. You can find me at unstoppablejourney.com. And if you want to take me up on my offer for the free coaching, then simply go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. And let me go ahead and share with you real quick what that actually looks like. And I'm gonna go, believe it's right here. No, that's iTunes. Sorry guys, that's iTunes. That's not what I want to show you. Wait, is that it? Oh, 1 second. I guess I didn't have it. Anyways, let me bring it up. So here's the coaching. So if you go to the unstoppablejourney.com/coaching, you'll get an application form. Okay, simply fill out the application form. It shouldn't take you no longer than 5-10 minutes, to be honest with you. Very simple questions: your name, address, or name, best way to contact you, email, either Skype ID, your main website, your business goals, 2015 financial goals, and just a few more questions. So if you can just fill out this application, you'll go ahead and that will unlock a 20-minute free coaching call with me. I'll be able to share with you more insights on podcasting, how to get to the next level. I just recently was awarded a few awards on stage this past weekend, and I'm one in the trenches, okay, and I'm one to really help you and share some valuable information and help you get to the next level. So that's all I ask. If you want to take me up on the offer, simply go to the unstoppablejourney.com/coaching and fill out this application, and we'll go ahead and I'll contact you within the next 24 to 48 hours. So if there are any questions, let me just one last sweep on the questions. Oh, Rich, still here. Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Everything was well explained. Thanks. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that you got some value. And whoever's listening, even if you're watching the replay, hopefully you got some value from this. Yeah, now you know how to create, launch, and produce your podcast. So take action. Who's going to take action? Who's going to create their very first podcast? Awesome. I love it. So without any further ado, it looks like we went over the time limit, so I'm going to stop it there. But I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And let's go ahead and let's tap into this resource and really just crush it. Like, let's crush this, because you can. All right, I gave you the blueprint. I gave you everything that I've done in order for me to get to where I'm at in my podcast and along my journey. And we're just getting started, right? We're in infant stages right now. We're really, we're really gonna take this to a whole new level, and I'm just so excited for that. So, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you got value, fill out that application. It's totally free. We'll get on a call and we'll see how we can how I can help you and clear things up. Or if you want to know how to go in depth into finding out your avatar, or finding out your values test. then we can dive into that as well. So once again, my name is Martin Ware. I hope you got a ton of value from this workshop, and I'm going to cut it there. I'll see you on the next one. If you have any questions, find me on the social networks, or go ahead and reach out to me. I'll catch you on the next one, my friend. Over and out.